What is going on, guys? It's your boy Dylan Villain, and we're coming back at you once again with another Total Extreme Wrestling 2020 video. Tonight we are in front of 18,750 people in Louisville, Kentucky. In a pre-show match, Perry Saturn defeats the Brooklyn Brawler in 7:38 by pinfall with a Saturn bomb. Perry Saturn with a 36. Brooklyn Brawler with a 24. The match got a 34. Announcing quality and color commentary gave the match a boost. But it is Saturday, week 4, May of 97. We are literally one day away from the Bad Blood pay-per-view. Let's go ahead and go on to the pre-show match before we start hyping up Shotgun Saturday Night. In an abysmal pre-show match, Edge and Christian defeat the Old School Express, Steve Corino and Chris Candido in 12:56 when Christian submitted Chris Candido. Chris Candido carried the match. Edge with a 41, Christian with a 40. They're gaining pop slowly but surely. Chris Candido with a 50, Steve Corino with a 35. Edge and Christian showed excellent chemistry together. And Candido was penalized for personal effects. He's going through a divorce. And the match got a 46. And we go ahead and open up Shotgun Saturday Night with a... It is Saturday. We are literally 1 week away from the Bad Blood pay-per-view. Tonight we're going to be hyping up the Bad Blood pay-per-view. I wouldn't necessarily say all these matches are throwaway matches. As you see, we're going to have some surprises in store for you tonight. But we are going to have 2 sit-down interviews with Stone Cold Steve Austin and The Big Show talking about their upcoming match together. We are also going to have an interview from The Rock talking about his Intercontinental Championship matchup with Triple H. Basically hyping up the big main event matches of the pay-per-view. But, and about that had a decent reaction from the crowd in Sub Pro Wrestling. Jeff Jarrett defeats The Godfather with a flying dropkick. Everybody has a fucking dropkick. 63 in the match. Jeff Jarrett with a 68 and The Godfather with a 47. Jeff Jarrett and The Godfather don't click. It made an awkward bout. Announcing quality gave the match a boost. And color also gave the match a boost. And Godfather is getting better at his pip gimmick. We go on to the next match, which is a tag team match that features APA and the Goblins. And APA defeats the Goblins with Bradshaw, pin Phineas I. Goblin. Like always, Farouk carried the match in in-ring performance. Farouk with a 75, Bradshaw with a 40. Slowly but surely gaining pop. Phineas I. Godwin with a 49 and Henry O. Godwin with a 50. The Godwins have excellent tag team chemistry together. Announcing and color commentary gave the match a boost. Farouk came out of the match looking good. Match got a 63. Not bad. This is what we want. This is what we want. We go to our opening segment of the night, which is the Hart Foundation back together once again. We have Bret Hart, Davey Boy Smith, Owen Hart, and Jim Neidhart in the back. Minus one Brian Pillman. But the Hart Foundation is looking strong once again. And we see Bret, Davey, Owen, and Jim Neidhart, and they're in the locker room together. Excuse me. And Bret goes, Davey, I'm so glad to have you back. It's been one hell of a journey here in the World Wrestling Federation without you. It just hasn't been the same without you. And I'm glad you're back. And Jim's like, yeah, we're glad you're back. And Davey's like, Owen, I apologize to you having to team up with somebody to defend the tag team titles. I know that my condition. And Owen's just like, Davey, don't even mention it, bro. That was don't even mention it, okay? Don't ever mention me teaming up with Do Love ever again. And Davey started laughing. He was like, the Love Rockets, huh? What a crazy tag team name that was. And Owen, you know, he does that. The face that he's doing, he makes like a fake little laugh, and he's like, ha, ha. Yeah, that was real funny. But seriously, don't mention it again. We're glad you're back. And Owen's like, yeah, I'm really glad you're back. Now that I know that you're here, I know that nothing can stop the Hart Foundation from holding all the gold in the company once again. me as world champion, Davey or Owen as Intercontinental, Jim teaming up with the person who doesn't have the Intercontinental Championship, and Owen's kind of like, what? He's like, no, man. He's like, after you defeat The Undertaker, you promised me a World Wrestling Federation World Heavyweight title shot. When am I going to get that title shot? And Brett's like, Owen, we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. And Davey's like, yeah, because I want my hands on that title as well. And he hits Owen in the back, and Owen's like, I'm not, like, he had a look on his face like, I'm not joking, I'm being serious. And Brett goes, but anyway, that brings me to tonight's business. I went to Shane McMahon, and I talked to him about tonight's main event. And I think the fans are really going to enjoy it. And then, hell, I mean, I would love to see the British Bulldog back in action. What do you say, Davey? And Davey's just like, oh, yeah, I can't wait to get back in that ring. That's my best British accent. It sounds Irish to me, but hopefully it comes off with a little bit of British accent. And I was like, that's great. Because tonight, I talked Shane McMahon, I talked him into letting you go one-on-one with The Undertaker's brother, Kane. And Owen kind of steps back and goes, Kane, are you serious? And Davey he laughs. He's like, what's the matter, Owen? He's like, you're going to go one-on-one? You're willing to go one-on-one with that monster Kane? Somebody like that? An unstoppable monster? Brett's setting you up for failure, Davey. Davey's like, I guess you done forgot who I am, huh? You think that somebody like that can stop me? And he flexes and he shows off his muscles and he's fucking jacked, ripped. And I was just like, I don't know, man. I think it's a bad idea. I think we shouldn't be messing with those guys. Once Brett, I don't even think Brett's going to walk out of the pay-per-view alive. And Brett's just like, Jim's just like, enough of that, Owen. We don't need your negativity. In fact, I think you need to be more concentrated on your match with Kurt Angle, don't you think? And I was like, Kurt Angle is nothing to be worried about. I'm going to put Kurt Angle right in his place that he belongs. And Brett's like, yeah, we'll see about that. Like, you already lost to Kurt multiple times. Like, I'll see it. I'll believe it when I see it. Is basically what Brett's trying to say. And Owen's like, you got a problem? And Brett's like, do you have a problem? And then they start arguing amongst themselves. I'm trying to cut it down as much as possible. They start arguing, and Davey and Jim pull them apart and was like, look, we got to be a unit, okay? Davey's finally back. We got to be a unit, okay? Like, we got to work together. Our goal right now is to make sure that Brett walks out of the pay-per-view not only as World Wrestling Federation champion, but alive. And tonight, I have the opportunity to weaken the chain of their ministry, of Sting's ministry, by taking out Kane tonight. Owen's like, well, yeah, good luck with that. I'm gonna go warm up for my match against Kurt Angle tomorrow night. Good luck with you. And Dave's like, same. Thanks, bud. And he taps Owen on the back and everything, and they go about their separate ways. That ends the segment. Segment got 100. It advances the Dark Days storyline and the U.S. versus Canada storyline. I apologize if my voice cracks out. I said it in the Sunday Night Heat video, but Sunday Night Heat comes after this video. But I got a kind of a cold, and I'm going to record these two episodes. I was going to go ahead and record the pay-per-view, but I'm just going to go ahead and record these two shows and record the pay-per-view at a later date. Which to y'all probably won't notice it, but for me, I don't like taking long periods of time without recording. But I'm getting a cold, and I'm gonna hold off on the pay-per-view and wait. So I'm more woo, you know what I'm saying. So we're gonna wait off on the pay-per-view. But if my voice cracks out or I call for something like that, I'm getting a cold. So please bear with me, and I apologize, guys. We move on to the next segment, which is a match between Scott Steiner and Crush. And Scott Steiner defeats Crush by submission with the Steiner recliner. Scott Steiner with a 68, not bad, and Crush with a 54 I could have did better. Announced the quality and color commentary gave the match a boost. Match got a 68. Scott Steiner carrying the match. They have a huge tag team match at the Bad Blood PPV. It will be the Steiners versus Crushing Bomb for the WWF World Tag Team Championships. Tune in to the pay-per-view to see who wins that match. We move on to the next segment, which is the sit-down interview with the Big Show. And Jim Ross says, "Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Tonight, I'm doing 2 sit-down interviews, one with the Big Show and one with Stone Cold Steve Austin. Both of these interviews were pre-recorded for the live studio audience, for the fans in the arena and the fans who are watching at home. This interview was pre-recorded. My first interview tonight will be the Big Show." And he goes, "Big Show, I know that you and Shane McMahon have a varied history together, being his bodyguard and everything." And Show cuts him off and he's like, "I was never Shane's bodyguard. I was brought into the company to take care of Sting, to take care of The Undertaker, and I was paid a very large sum of money by Vince McMahon. But now that Vince McMahon is not here and he's been put on the shelf by Sting and The Undertaker, I figured since I was here, I might as well make the best of my opportunity and not only make money that I want to make, but win championships. Ain't that what every person wants to do here? Hell, if you don't want to be world champion, then you might as well go somewhere else, is what I've always been told." And Jim's like, "Yeah, you're right. So that pretty much answers my first question about how do you feel about your match. I mean, your job's on the line and everything like that. I know that you've been wanting to get your hands on Steve Austin for a while. Is there a personal beef between y'all?" And Show's like, "No, I actually have respect for Steve. Slowly but surely I gained respect for Steve Austin because he's the same type of guy as me. He wants to be the best in the company like I do. He wants to make money. He wants to win championships like I do. But unlike Steve, I have the size and the power to beat anybody who steps in my way. And Steve just thinks he can beat everybody that gets in his way, but it ain't going to happen at the pay-per-view because he ain't going to beat me. I'm going to beat his ass." And Jim Ross was like, "Oh, that's strong words. Thank you for doing that. Be sure to turn into the pay-per-view when Big Show faces Stone Cold Steve Austin in a steel cage match, with the loser being fired effective immediately." And Big Show's like, "Thank you, da-da-da-da-da." So basically, Big Show hypes up his match. He's basically saying, like, he doesn't give a fuck if it's Austin. He doesn't care who it is. He's going to go in there, he's going to beat their ass, and he's going to get the job done. Because he's here to make money and win championships, and that's it. And we go on to a decent match. Mark Marrow defeats Ahmed Johnson with a Kimura clutch by submission. Mark Marrow slowly but surely getting popped with a 66, and Ahmed Johnson with a 70. Sable looking good. Match got a 62. Mark Marrow picking up momentum before his big pay-per-view match against Goldust here. And we go on to a tag team match. In a poor match, the Hardy Boys defeat the New Age Outlaw when Matt Hardy pinned the Road Dogg with the Omega event. The match got a 57. It could have did better. I don't know why. Well, god dang, Jeff with a 71. And Matt Hardy with a 69. Not bad at all. Road Dogg and Billy Gunn with a 50 and 54. None of that matters. Excellent tag team chemistry between both the teams. And announcing color commentary gave the match post. We move on to the next segment. And it is the interview with The Rock. And Michael Cole's like, "Rock, thank you for letting me interview you. And I have a few questions." The Rock just snatched the microphone. He goes, "I already know what you're going to ask, you lame ass jabroni. You want to know how The Rock feels about going one-on-one with Triple H again. You should be asking Triple H, how does it feel to go one-on-one with the Great One once again? Now, time and time again, I got screwed, or I came up short, or I've been put in multiple man matches for the Intercontinental Championship. But this time, Triple H has nowhere to run and nowhere to hide as we finally go one-on-one for that prestigious Intercontinental Championship title. Now, I know a lot of people has been saying, because I'm good friends with Stephanie McMahon, that I've been rewarded these opportunities when I proved by beating that candy-ass jabroni Jeff Jarrett in a match that I am the number one contender, and I will always be the number one contender for the Intercontinental Championship until I win the Intercontinental Championship. I could be World Wrestling Federation champion if I wanted to, but I have a personal beef with Triple H, and I can't wait to get that title off of his hands and put it on my beautiful shoulder right here. Michael's like, oh, yeah, that's great, Rock. Well, I wish you the best of luck in your match at the pay-per-view, at the Bad Blood pay-per-view. We're going to see Triple H go one-on-one with The Rock for the Intercontinental Championship. Thank you, Rock, for your time. And The Rock's like, yeah, whatever. And that ends that segment. Basically, The Rock hyping up his match, saying that he's going to go after Triple H. He has a personal beef with Triple H. And he's going to make Triple H pay. And not only is he going to make Triple H pay, but he's going to take his Intercontinental Championship title away from him, becoming a new Intercontinental Champion. Triple H has nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. He was in the multi-man matches, all that stuff. Triple H never went one-on-one with The Rock for the Intercontinental Championship. And this is going to be the first time that they go one-on-one for the Intercontinental Championship with the title on the line, I believe. And The Rock says he's going to get the job done come this Sunday at the Bad Blood pay-per-view. We move on to the next segment, which is a match. It is basically a warm-up match for Owen Hart. And he defeats Jerry Lynn with an inverted power driver. Owen Hart with a 93 and Jerry Lynn with a 44. I just wanted to get Jerry Lynn on the card. Technically, these are pay-per-views. Shotgun Saturday Night's pay-per-view because I accidentally canceled the TV deal and I can't get another TV deal for 3 months. So this is basically a warm-up match for Owen Hart before the pay-per-view. Match got a 78. Not bad. Not bad at all. We're going to move on to the next segment. And it's the sit-down interview with Steve Austin. One of these promos is not like the other. One of these promos, the guy can actually cut a promo. And Jim Ross is sitting there and he goes, at this time, ladies and gentlemen, I am here with the one and only, the Texas Rattlesnake, the baddest man on the planet, Stone Cold Steve Austin. Stone Cold, you know that I'm one of your biggest fans. And I want to know, how do you feel about being put in this match against the Big Show with your job on the line? Stone Cold's just like, I don't care. All right, I don't give a damn. I got a lot of respect for old Paul. He's a man just like me who goes out there and takes care of business. And he doesn't let anything stop him from achieving his goals. And I can respect that. But come this Sunday, we're not going to be friends. We're not going to be enemies. Hell, we're not even going to be acquaintances. Come this Sunday, he's just going to be another. He's just another man standing across from that ring, and this is going to be business. And once I put his ass on the unemployment line, going back down south to where he belongs, I ain't going to hear no bitching and whining from these fans, or bitching and whining from Vince, or whoever the hell's in charge now. Shane, when I take one of their top stars and put them in the unemployment line in that steel cage match. I'm going to do whatever it takes to win that match. And when I win that match, I'm going to go on and I'm going to beat Bret the Hitman Hart or The Undertaker, whoever wins that match, at the King of the Ring pay-per-view and cement my legacy as becoming the World Wrestling Federation Heavyweight Champion. And Jim Ross is like, well, you had your opportunity against Bret Hart. And I hate to say it, Steve, but you came up short. I was rooting for you that night, but you came up short. And Stone Cold's like, yeah, well, that night Bret had my number. But you're about to see a different Stone Cold Steve Austin real soon, you know. And I know that Shane is just trying to have a little power trip of his own and flex his power, just like Vince does every once in a while, and wants to show that he's in charge. I get that. I get that. Right? But after I win this match, there's nothing stopping me from becoming World Wrestling Federation Champion. Whether it's him or his damn dad standing in my way making the matches, I'm going to do what I have to do to become World Wrestling Federation champion. Jim's like, well, best of luck to you at the pay-per-view, blah, 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 blah. Tune into the pay-per-view, tune into the Bad Blood PPV to watch that match between the Big Show and Stone Cold Steve Austin in a steel cage match. So there's no outside interference. And the loser will be fired. Austin, I wish you the best of luck. And thank you for having me. And Stone Cold's like, likewise. Do you want to have a beer? And Jim's like, no, I don't drink. Stone Cold's like, oh, more for me. And he cracks open a beer and he drinks. And we can move on to the main event, which is the British Bulldog taking on Kane in a bout that had fantastic wrestling that did a horrible, I just looked at the rating, had fantastic heat and great wrestling. Davey Boy Smith defeats Kane by pinfall. He is the first man to defeat Kane by pinfall. Davey Boy Smith with an in-ring performance of a 78 and Kane with an 84. Davey Boy and Kane do not click, and it made it an awkward bout, so that sucked. Kane and Paul Bearer have great chemistry together. Paul Bearer is Kane's manager. Davey Boy Smith's gimmick is getting stale. Thank you for letting me know that. I'm going to give him a better gimmick. And Kane benefited from having crowd fan support. Match got a 73. So this is not going to be a good show at all. I was hoping this match would do better. I was hoping he would at least push an 80. But this is the first match for Davey Boy Smith back. One-on-one match, I should say. So we're going to go and click the next segment. They got a 96. After the match, this is very important. After the match, Bret Hart and Jim Hart come down to the ring. Owen's nowhere to be found. And Owen left. And Bret comes down. He's celebrating with Davey. And Kane's laying in the ring. And Paul Bearer's like, come on, get up, get up. All of a sudden, the lights go out. The lightning strikes. They come. Not Kane. The Undertaker and Sting are standing outside the ring by the entranceway. So Bret Hart and Davey Boy can't run away. And the way that they're standing is Bret Hart and Davey are by the announce tables, so they can easily get out of the ring and run out through the crowd, and Kane's in front of them. And all of a sudden, Sting just looks at the Undertaker and looks back at Kane and Paul Bearer and shakes his head no. You know, he just shakes his head like he's disappointed. And then he looks back at the Undertaker, and the Undertaker nods his head. And all of a sudden, Undertaker gets in the ring, and Bret Hart and Davey Boy get out of the ring. Undertaker stands there, and he picks up Kane. He looks like he's picking up Kane, help Kane up. And all of a sudden, he grabs Kane and tombstones Kane in the middle of the ring. And then Sting gets in the ring, and he stands there. And Paul Bearer comes in the ring, and he's kind of looking confused and stuff like that. You know, he looks very, very, very confused. He's like, what the hell's going on? And Sting whacks Paul Bearer in the head with a baseball bat. And Sting shakes his head, and then he looks at the Undertaker. Undertaker nods, and he tombstones Paul Bearer also. And it looks like Sting has complete control of the Undertaker 100%. The Undertaker is 100% loyal to Sting. And because Kane lost, I guess they're cutting ties with Kane and Paul Bearer because he lost. I guess. I don't know what's going on. Hopefully we get more news on this and find out why Sting did this. But it looks like Sting has cut ties with Kane and Paul Bearer, and now it's just Sting and the Undertaker. And the lightning strikes and they disappear, leaving Kane in the middle of the ring along with Paul Bearer. That ends the show. Going to the pay-per-view. It got an 82. It could have did better. That's one of the worst ratings that we had in a very long time. Not a bad rating, I should say, but it could have did better. Increased our popularity in 14 regions, and it would have increased our popularity in Canada. We go ahead and finish the show. And we are going to, once the thing comes up, we're going to look at the news like we always do, and then I'm going to do some talking like we always do. Okay. George's Animal Steel. ECW TV. Let's go ahead and check that out. 67, Terry Gordy, Tommy Dreamer, and Mikey Whipwreck defeat Max Payne and the Gangsters. Savio Vega defeats Brian Lee. Steve Williams defeats Roadkill. Backstage segment with Kevin Sullivan. Interview with Harley Race. Kevin Sullivan defeats David Jericho, which I believe is Kid Cash. Brawl between the Gangsters, Terry Gordy and Louis Piccoli and Big Titan defeat Cannonball and Grizzly Adams. So it's not a big show. Here, Louis Piccoli is hurt. Let's see. Nothing really pertaining to us except for Shotgun Saturday Night. But we're going to go ahead and hype the pay-per-view, guys. The main event of the Bad Blood pay-per-view, which is tonight. It's Sunday, week 4 of May. Will be The Undertaker versus Bret the Hitman Hart for the World Wrestling Federation World Heavyweight Championship. The Undertaker has been a freaking on a tear here lately, destroying everybody who gets in his path. With Sting by his side, it looks like nobody is going to be able to stop The Undertaker. I have very little hopes for Bret the Hitman Hart. Just recently winning the World Wrestling Federation Championship title. This is going to be his first title defense, and I do not see him walking away as champion at all. With Sting cutting ties with Kane and Pallbearer, maybe that will play a factor into the match. Hopefully Kane doesn't do something stupid and cost Undertaker the match. We don't know. We will find out at the pay-per-view. Hopefully we get more news on that. Because that was wild. We also have Triple H versus The Rock for the first time in a one-on-one matchup for the Intercontinental Championship title. Will The Rock get the job done, or will Triple H prove, like he's been saying, his time is now? He deserves to be in the main event. He deserves to be making money, the main event money. He deserves to be in the main event. Will Triple H prove that he is a main event player, or will The Rock show why Triple H is nothing more than an upper mid-card star? We also have Goldust taking on Mark Marrow in a street fight. Here recently, it's been getting personal. It looks like that has been gotten personal. For those of y'all watched the show, we found out in the news right here that Goldust was having an affair with none other than China, and Mark Marrow brung that very private matter out in the open and let the fans know that Goldust and China are a thing, and Goldust pretty much embraced it. Goldust said he's not going to be Goldust anymore here longer. He's going to be known as Dustin Rose, rated X, Dustin Rose, and he's rated X because he loves the sex. So there's that match, a street fight. Mark Marrow's been training with Dan Severn, learning MMA moves. We have seen a completely different Mark Marrow. Mark Marrow's pretty much been on a ball here lately. So there is that to take into consideration. We're also going to see a 30-minute Iron Man match between Kurt Angle and Owen Hart. And pretty much this is going to be it. Kurt Angle has been using some underhand tactics to defeat Owen Hart here lately. So hopefully we have a good, fair match, 30-minute Iron Man match. We are also going to see Cactus Jack take on Raven, who is a competitor not signed to the World Wrestling Federation. He's pretty much a free agent. He will be taking on Cactus Jack in a Boiler Room Brawl matchup. Falls count anywhere, Boiler Room Brawl. Basically for the King of Hardcore. Raven says that after Cactus Jack left ECW, Raven picked up that mantle and carried it. While Mick Foley was over here playing Mankind and New Love and dancing for people and signing autographs and kissing babies, Raven was over there bleeding and pouring blood, slamming himself in thumbtacks and barbed wire. And he believes that he is the rightful king of hardcore. We are also going to see a tag team matchup between the Steiners and Bomb and Crush for the WWF Tag Team Championships. We will also be seeing a light heavyweight championship matchup when Rey Mysterio defends his WWF light heavyweight title against Ultimo Dragon. That match is going to be a banger for sure. Let's see, what other matches do we have on the card? I'm pretty sure that is all the matches that are advertised for the pay-per-view. Tune in Sunday, week 4, May of 97, to see the Bad Blood pay-per-view. I'm excited for it. Hopefully I'm over this cold by the time I record it. I'm going to go ahead and book it, but I'm going to wait until I'm feeling a little bit better to record it because all that good jazz. But anyway, this has been Dylan the Villain. And like I always say, guys, if you can't play with yourself, then if you can't play with each other, then play with yourself. That's how it goes. All right. Anyway, thank y'all for watching the video. Thank y'all for liking. Thank y'all for commenting down below. If you like this video and want to go back and watch others, the playlist will be at right here on the last night results. And if you like what you're seeing and you want to subscribe and support the channel, the subscribe icon will be right here. Thank y'all guys for watching the video. It means the world to me. Hopefully y'all tune in to the pay-per-view and check out who wins the pay-per-view matchups. We have a whole bunch of big matches. I just named off all the list on my notebook that I have written down. Hopefully y'all tune in and check that out. But I'm Dylan the Villain, and like I'll always say, if you can't play with each other, play with yourself. That's how the saying goes. See you later, guys.